So we went to the very back of the Altiplano. That is where the wild side begins, and we are not working there just yet. So we have this little curve here and everything ends there between the two trees. And as you can see, it is dry and there is no grass. So this takes a lot more rain to come back to life, and definitely a stretch of cooler temperatures. And here, what is the road? Of course, we don't care about what grows in the road, but it's good to see. So you see, there's only a little bit coming up, a lot of mow, and of course the stones. And here on the other side, it looks very similar. This is still the worst zone that we have at all, overall. And the guys are fixing the fence so that we can bring the animals here selectively. But we will be careful to bring them down there, because there is a risk of tuberculosis, and we better let this develop. And we also have a plan to bring some pigs here, so then that's different. But for that we need to fix the fencing left and right down there, because we know there are a lot of holes. This here is the former sacrifice paddock. It's a bit windy, so I hope the audio is okay. So this is the former sacrifice paddock, and it has a thick layer of mulch, which is good. So I assume with the moisture we are building soil underneath, but as you can see, there is not really green that is definitely visible. There is something coming up. If I pen down a bit, and you might be able to see something. So there is a thin layer of new plants that want to come up, but it's not really that we have forage now, so this takes a while. And in here, where we worked with some seeds and straw, this is also not yet a paddock where we can say, oh, in a few weeks we can graze here. There is rain in the forecast. So today is Tuesday, and for the weekend there is a lot of rain forecasted in the beginning of next week. So this might then give it another boost. I would assume all the seeds that are in there, they just need a signal and then they get started. So when there is shade and there is enough biomass for water retention, then something is happening. But it's a slow process. We also just noticed that all these trees have no acorns, and that's a huge problem, because the pigs are supposed to feed on them. And up here, well, there are a few that the wind has shaken down, so there are some, but it's not that these trees up here are rich with acorns. That is because they are in bad shape. The whole system is broken, and so this takes a while for it to come back and be put together. Here we have a very sad sight. This is an acorn. It is super small and it fell off way before it got mature. And a lot of trees have acorns that small that can be found on the ground. This is the effect of all the drought during the summer, lack of nutrients, all the negligence before over years. And I would assume a lot of people have the same problem right now. So That is usually the feed for the pigs during winter. And when they are like that, it doesn't work. This is one of the trenches that were full with rye. You can see the remnants of it, but it's not green around. And that is because the rain was not enough. But you can see that the oak trees, they are trying to sprout, and they do this from the root system. The tree itself is clean, so there is nothing sprouting, but all around we do have new growth. Of course, this according to some people is wrong, because it means that the tree is investing more in these new sprouts instead of in its trunk and the acorns. But what can the tree do if there is no water and no nutrients? The tree tries to create some offspring like this here in order to be around, because it basically knows it is dying, and so it tries to make some part of it survive so that a new tree comes up, and that is how it looks like. Overall, this can come back to life when there is enough rain, but right now that's more a wish. I don't know. Especially I don't know the situation of the seed. So we let this go to seed, so we should have new seed here. But yeah, this is a challenging situation up here. I can say already, once we come to zone A, which used to be in better shape when we started and continues to be in better shape, it looks different there. But up here, this is pretty much a disaster. But we are here to fix this, so let's just continue and see how it goes. One of the water retention features. The last rain wasn't enough, so this is dry. And if you look around, you find a matching image. So definitely a lot more rain is needed, but it will come, and we will see how wet this autumn and winter will be. So this here is the area where we tried the Sudan grass experiment that we abandoned during the summer because we didn't want to irrigate it every day. I see in the background when I pan and we walk there that we do have some of it left, but it's in the trench. But you can see how this area looks like. So there's nothing going on for the moment. We need more rain, as I keep saying. And you see here in this area where the soil is exposed because nothing grew, some seed is in the soil. With more rain, it should then show up. So here's a shot of the paulownias that are at or below the berm. They are in pretty good shape given the time of the year. They will lose their leaves step by step and then stay without leaves until spring comes around. But they have grown very well. So there the irrigation made sense and everything is cool. But you see, this pond area here in this vale, it is dry because the rain wasn't enough. So here we have something that is different. So everything is dry around and there was no standing water except here. So this holds water, and if I follow a little bit despite the wind, you can see it is very good filled. So this is very positive. And there's also one other thing. The oak tree in this angle makes it a bit difficult to see, but have a look at this Paulovnia tree. This is a huge thing. So we are not talking about 2.40 m anymore, so this is definitely in the 4 m range, and soon it will surpass the oak trees around. So that is very nice to see. Well, this wasn't from the rain. This got disconnected, and that is what filled the swale. The swale is filled very well. So if I pan around and go around Angel, then you can definitely see how well filled this is. So if you keep this open, it will also go over that little bump there. So this is good for the trees and all that and the surroundings. And inside there's also some growth, but it should not be this way, so it needs to be fixed. And the Sudan grass, it somehow got in here, is still there, and we know that this one went to seed, so we do have some around. We will see what happens. Well, here we have all the bovines. Let me find a better position. They are doing what they do, processing their food, and some continue to eat from the straw. The calves have grown big, and we keep them here in this place until we really can start grazing. That wasn't really planned. We wanted to bale graze during summer, paddock per paddock. We had distributed the straw, but because the fence wasn't working well and some of them figured out that one can jump it, this did not work, so we had to bring them here, and they have been here since then. Of course, this is devoid of any plants, whether new or old, but it doesn't matter. We know that this will come back in spring, like the last time. So the manure, we add some biomass in the form of the straw that they don't eat, and of course the manure is also biomass, so that's not so bad. So this is a 4-hectare sacrifice paddock. They have some place to roam and it's not so boring. But for now they have to wait until the green is really there. And it will. It just depends on the rain.